We're going to look a little closer at the definition that the IAU established in 2006 for the first ever definition of a planet. Let's look a little bit closer at the various aspects of how the IAU defined planet. Letter B tends to be a bit of a mouthful. Has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces, so it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium, nearly round shape. The more mass that celestial bodies have, the more they tend to be more spherical in shape. Now remember, not anything in the celestial body realm of planets, moons, are perfectly spherical. Our Earth is an oblate spheroid. Letter B is really targeting the closer to nearly round shape, so that this excluded looking at the large swath of real estate, as Dr. Tyson called it in that Nova Now clip, of the asteroids that typically are described as more potato shape in appearance than spherical. And letter C, this is something we've actually explored already, where sometimes in the orbital paths, perhaps this is Neptune, and Pluto will sometimes come within that orbital path of Neptune. And so in this area right here is what is referring to as not clearing the neighborhood, in terms of why Pluto wouldn't be classified as a planet, as Pluto does not clear the neighborhood, doesn't have the same neighbors, the same celestial objects throughout the entire path of its journey. Some decades, very similar. Other decades, it crosses in to this orbital area. So leading this into what is the IAU's definition of a dwarf planet. This is a brand new category that was established in 2006. And you don't have to rewrite this whole thing. Just be like, yep, we have this over there, C1A. This is the same. Letter C, we just add this not part, and that's what we just mentioned with the paths of Neptune and Pluto. Pluto doesn't have its own clear path or clear a path of a neighborhood. And then D, this is new. So it's not a satellite. So we're not going to classify moons a dwarf planet. So our moon, it's a moon, a natural satellite of our planet. It's not a dwarf planet. All other objects, except satellites, orbiting the Sun shall be referred to collectively as small solar system bodies, and also TNOs, trans-Neptunian objects. Because there was so much worldwide media attention on this IAU meeting, they established Resolution B6 just to clarify Pluto is a dwarf planet by the above definition and is recognized as the prototype of a new category of TNOs. If you recall, the reason the IAU needed to establish a definition of a planet was because of the enormous amount of discoveries that were happening since the 95 digital telescopes. Just magnificent increase in what we're able to discover. And just a shout out here to the very first extrasolar planet, so a planet beyond our solar system, was discovered by Swiss astronomers 51 Peg, affectionately known as, right off here from the asterism of Pegasus. 2009, a very exciting mission was launched, the Kepler satellite, and the Kepler spacecraft, was designed to, right here, find Earth-size and smaller planets. This is the way that the Kepler telescope looks for possible extrasolar planets, and these are the transit paths that are recorded. So when a star that's being looked at has a dip in brightness, it catches the attention of researchers and perhaps makes it a candidate to do further research on to see, is this dip in brightness due to an exoplanet that is crossing the path of the accompanying star? This is a wonderful graphic showing some of the discoveries of the Kepler spacecraft, the Kepler mission. Now, it's not these large circles that are the planets that have been discovered. It's their main star, and then the dots are those exoplanets, those transits that were discovered. So again, it's not these large beige blue objects. It's the dots on those that represent the planets that have been discovered by Kepler. Little animation here showing you the enormity of discoveries. See up here, 800 planets discovered by the end of 2014. Just amazing research being done. And then the 26th of 2014, major Kepler announcement was that they had discovered the 1000th planet. From 2000 BC until 1992 AD, astronomers had only discovered 3 new planets. In 2014, NASA's Kepler Space Telescope team announced the discovery of over 700 new planets. Just a tremendous acceleration of discovery of planets. The area that the Kepler telescope explored, so this will be our Milky Way galaxy. This is representing our solar system here. This is the area at which the Kepler mission explored and discovered 1,000 or so exoplanets. And here is the proposed mission of K2, the next generation, if you will, of the Kepler Space Telescope. I mean, just think about, we discovered over 1,000 in this area. Imagine how many might be discovered here, and then project that for the whole Milky Way galaxy at large. That could lead you to some food for thought like this. Based on Kepler mission data, there could be as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zones of sun-like stars and red dwarfs in the Milky Way, 11 billion of which may be orbiting sun-like stars. These are some of the graphic designs that were done in conjunction with some of the discoveries of exoplanets. Here's a nice kind of travel poster of 51 Pegasi b. And in 2017, it was announced that water had been discovered on 51 Peg b. Discover Kepler 22b. Visit the constellation of Cygnus. Kepler 186f, where the grass is always redder on the other side. HD 40307G, a super-Earth. Alright, 40,000 times the force of gravity. Kepler 16b, where your shadow always has company, or I like to say, you can live out your Star Wars Tatooine dream. Visit Tatooine, twice the sun, twice the fun. This is PSO J318.5-22, where the nightlife never ends. The Grand Tour. Why not check out the large planets in our own solar system? Mighty auras of Jupiter. This is some of the moons in our solar system. There is exploration being conducted to see, to gain more information about the oceans of Titan. Venus, remember the goddess of love. See you at the Cloud 9 Observatory. And then, of course, my favorite planet of them all, and that would be planet Earth. Until recently, we didn't know for sure if there were planets outside of our solar system, but hundreds have been identified with new space-based telescopes. Now they say there probably are more planets than stars. So I don't know why this isn't the only thing people are talking about. And I have to agree with this sentiment. It always kind of cracks me up when students come running in. Did you see the announcement? A new planet has been discovered. And I have a love-hate relationship with that because so many people think it's the first one that has been discovered when it's now over 1,000 that have been discovered. But I am excited when people get excited that they're recognizing some of those great discoveries that are happening in their lifetime. February 23rd, 2017, 7 Earth-sized exoplanets were discovered and made the Google Doodle of the day, and that's the TRAPPIST system. The illustration of the planets there isn't accurate for distance. Like so many astronomy pictures, illustrations, we like to put everything at a glance, in one glimpse. So the sizes relative to each other are correct. And to look at the potential of a travel poster for the TRAPPIST system. So I wanted to show you just how many exoplanets there were, how many things have been discovered past Neptune that inspired the agenda item on the IAU 2006 meeting to establish a formal definition of a planet. And of course the media looked at Dr. Tyson as a scapegoat. In that Nova Now special I showed you, he had some of these letters from elementary students. I'll show you a couple from that book, because the letters prompted PBS to contact Dr. Tyson and say that so many people wrote in asking, are there more of those letters, can he publish them, that he did take the time to go and compile them into a book. So this letter is the one you saw at the end of that clip. Dear Natural History Museum, your missing planet Pluto. Please make a model of it. This is what it looks like. It is a planet. Love, Will Gumlet. Turn to the other page, and there's the drawing of Pluto. My name is John Glynn. I am 6 years old, and my favorite planet is Pluto. I disagree with you that Pluto is a Kuiper Belt object. I think Pluto is a real planet, and I took a poll of 11 people. The question was, what do you think Pluto is? A planet? A double planet? A Kuiper Belt object? I think it is a double planet, and everyone else thought it a regular real planet that is very cold. I had a half day at school yesterday, so my mom brought me to the Museum of Natural History and the Hayden Planetarium. I wanted to see you so I could tell you this in person. Dear Mr. Tyson, I think Pluto is a planet. Why do you think Pluto is no longer a planet? I do not like your answer. Whoa, they didn't even wait for an answer. Pluto is my favorite planet. You are going to have to take all of the planet books away and change them. Pluto is a planet! Exclamation, exclamation. Pluto, sad and crying. Because of the ring, I think this might be Saturn, even though it's not quite to scale, but I miss my friend. Look at those explanations. This is back in 2006. This is long before social media! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Dear scientist, what do you call Pluto if it's not a planet anymore? If you make it a planet again, all the science books will be right. Do people live on Pluto? If there are people who live there, they won't exist. Now, that's something my brother would harass me by all the time, as I was born in West Germany, which no longer exists, and my brother likes to tease me that, do I still exist since I was born in a place no longer exists? So, common theme there. Why can't Pluto be a planet? If it's small, doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be a planet anymore. Some people like Pluto. If it doesn't exist, then they don't have a favorite planet. Please write back, but not in cursive, because I can't read in cursive. Your friend, Madeline Trust. Yeah, many of you out there, I think, would have to write the same thing, or please don't write in cursive. Dear Dr. Neil Tyson DeGrasse, at first remember all those kids that sent you bad letters. Well, I want to apologize all the things that we were wrong about. We're sorry about giving you mean letters, saying we love Pluto but not you. I'm very sorry. It'll be okay. So this was written in 2008. So if we're looking at 2020-ish, that's 12 years ago, age 7, 19. So Taylor hopefully has graduated from high school. And I'm going to make the prediction that Taylor has entered a study regime to become a counselor, as they have the great comforting skills. Dear Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I know how you feel. We feel the same about Pluto not being a planet. I am too, but we just have to get over it. That's science. We have to learn about science. Science will make you smart. And the press loved to get these images of Dr. Tyson with Pluto. What is plutonium? The name of Mickey Mouse's dog in Latin. Probably don't use that on a chemistry test. I can't believe I have to sit at the Little Planets table. And these are some of the editorial comics that are contained in Neil deGrasse Tyson's The Pluto Files book. Oh, this is a Nathan Pyle image. Angry astronomers on Pluto downgrade Earth to junk planet status. Do you think those are purple trousers or purple legs? Don't be ridiculous, Feddersen. How in the world would Pluto get revenge on us for downgrading it to dwarf planet? Well, remember, it wasn't a downgrade. This is actually the first time Pluto had an official designation. Sir, Pluto's here to see you. Seems pretty upset. This looks like an image that would be associated with a Pixar movie, but it's not. And in some regards, there was this sentiment across the U.S., at least where I was living and watching this unfold, that astronomers had gotten rid of Pluto. And there would be signs, people protesting on Main Street with signs, honk if you still love Pluto, honk if you want Pluto back. It was really as though astronomers had a Death Star and had destroyed a planet in their minds. Bring back Pluto. Okay, Daddy's putting Pluto back right now. It was a crazy time, 2006. So it's a Kuiper Belt object. It is a dwarf planet. There's a lot of things out there in the Kuiper Belt. For example, the formerly codenamed Xena and Gabrielle planets discovered by Mike Brown and his research team. It is now officially known as dwarf planet Eris and the satellite, so its moon, Dysnomia, which is absolutely perfect because Eris from Greek mythology is the god of strife. I was always curious if Lucy Lawless and Renee O'Connor, the two individuals that portrayed Xena and Gabrielle in the television series, if they were aware their character names were used as a code name for the discovery of a planet and its moon. So, of course, when I was granted the opportunity to meet Lucy Lawless, I had to take the opportunity and ask the question.
Hello. So in 2003, an astronomy team discovered what is now called planet Eris.
Mike Brown.
Planet. Yeah. Okay, that answered my question. I was wondering if you had known that the research team originally coded the planet and its moon, Xena and Gabrielle.
Yes, I had a little bit of chatter with Mike Brown at the time. I think it was his daughter who was a fan, and then, of course, some erudite scientific body said, you can't name it after Xena Gabrielle, name it these other completely fictional characters. So... sorry, but the Greek gods also weren't real. I think Xena and Gabrielle are realer than, what the hell were the names? Cassiopeia and whatever at the time. What did they do? I think I killed them in the 3rd season.
You gotta love it. So they did indeed know. I waited like 15 years to find that out. So our dwarf planets in the solar system.